Welcome. This is the Cajun contractor Michael King, and this the Invent America show with the invent invent lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Because as you know, her favorite saying is "Because America events." We got a good show for you. So we hope you stay with us. Now, I'd like to welcome the co-host of the Invent America show, the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Rita, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Man, information is coming in so fast that we might have to consider maybe freaking John Newsy out and maybe have to do a couple extra days a week because we can't keep up with all this information that's going on right now.
I
It's
know
it's
it's
it's crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy right now. But Rita, I want to talk about what you always talk about, the marketing word salad, and what do you mean by that, Rita?
Well, people want to tell their story. When I'm talking to someone about a product, my first interview with them is 15 seconds if we are lucky. And so when I'm working with an inventor, and they say, "What should I say?" It's like, well, not your life story, not in the first one. You got to get what problem did you solve? How did you solve it? To the point. And so a lot of times with marketing messages, it's not about how many words you can squeeze into 10 seconds. It's about the word. So when we talk about word salad, man, you've got to be specific in what you're saying. And are you stopping pain? Are you plugging a leak? Are you making something not fall off your staircase? Get to the point really quickly. And when we talk about the word salad and how much fun it is and all this story that you can throw in there, nope. If someone looks at their watch, you're off. That's it. You're done. You lose. And so when we talk about those words are so important. Apple paid a lot of money to teach you that an apple is something that you play with and not something that you eat. And most of my inventors don't have millions of dollars for that message. They have got, a very limited budget by the time they get to
Yeah,
marketing. So
yeah.
we got to be smarter with our words.
Well, I had a conversation with a gentleman that was on Home Talk, and I brought that out. I said, what we're trying to do in the Event America show is trying to set that blueprint. But at the end of the day, Rita, as you know, we had this conversation. The time we get them to help them, and so they don't make the mistakes and spend all that money, they're broke. They got no money for marketing, and they have. I mean, the money that's being wasted is ungodly crazy. Um,
Yeah.
we have the path, we got the blueprint. We got copyright attorneys, we got product, we got prototype, we got marketing, we got the radio, we got TV, we got everything that in place. We have the experts to actually sit down with you and talk about your plan. But at the end of the day, it's got to start with the plan. But Rita, we talked about this also. If you can, if you can think about it, put it on a piece of paper, we can do it. It's going to get done. But if you think about it and can't put it on a piece of paper, it can't be done. Or you're trying to put it on a piece of paper, but you never had the thought about it, it can't be done. But it's actually, the more I think, it's actually, even though we kind of say it's a hard, strenuous process, it's stressful. But at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be, because if you can't go to B till you finish A, and you can't go to C till you finish B. Does that make sense? I mean, it's so simple.
Well, it does. And that's why a lot of times I will ask an inventor when we are just getting started that, you know, give me your plan, answer these questions for me, tell me what your budget is so that we can stretch it out. Because the hardest thing for me is when an inventor calls and says, well, I'm out of money, but and they've
Yeah,
got
yeah,
no marketing message, they've got no website, they've got no presence online. They might have a shipment coming from Timbuktu someplace, so they've got 1,500, 2,000 units on their way and no money left to get the message out. Well, at that point, when it lands, now what do we do with it? And so what I try to work them through is, how do we stretch that dollar so that we make sure that there's
yeah.
something left? And there's people that they've got really cool product, and sometimes you know limited inventory or really nice prototypes, and that's all they've got, but they don't even have the ability to get to a show because when
Yeah,
they tell me, it's like, well, I spent 50,000
yeah,
on my intellectual property. It's like, find a different stinking attorney. It should have
Yeah.
been 10. All right.
Yeah.
I spent 50,000 on prototypes. Holy cow. Did you realize there was more to this than just getting prototypes done? And so, those steps of walking through it is always with the idea of, we've got to have a way to get the
Well,
story out.
yeah.
And we've got to be smart with our words to get the story out. But darn it, we have
Yeah.
got to be able to tell America what America is inventing. And one of our shows that's coming up, we're going to talk about, all those cool things that are just hitting the market that would make great Christmas gifts, because everybody's starting to do their Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
I would love to. I know that Don's got a really cool guy there that's making, these unique type of men's briefs.
Right.
Everybody should be putting them in the Christmas stockings. I'm not sure if Jean's product is going to be here just yet. But I know that Jerry Meals, who's going to be on with us, he's got product that is for pain relief. That's amazing. So,
Well,
when we're starting to talk, America, support the American inventing process by buying the products that Americans are inventing and working so hard to get out there.
well, every time we sit down with me and you, and we go over the spreadsheet, we go over the marketing approach. You know what I'm saying? I used to say 9.5 out of 10 don't have no clue, have no marketing, hadn't even put marketing in. We keep telling them, and it's not 9 out of 10. I think right now it's 9.99.99. It's somebody doesn't have any marketing dollars or have no clue what they're even talking about. And,
Well,
and, and we try to tell them, say, okay, how much did it actually take you to get the product to market? Well, 100,000. I'm just spitballing here. Well, do you have 300,000 sitting in the bank? Because that's what you're going to need. You need 3 times or whatever it took you just to get the product, to get it marketing out of there. Because there's some good marketing tools you can do, social media, but you have to put it all in one basket, because not any one marketing approach will work for anybody. It's a
that's
combination of
very
things.
true. That is very
But
true.
but education, what we provide here, of course, we don't charge anybody to be on the show, but what we provide here is an explanation, and because people want to hear, and then they want to have video back in what you just talked about. But then we get back to you and what you're saying about, get straight to the point. Um, don't drag it out. Features and benefits, how this is going to make my life better. And then the most important part is how much money it's going to take me to bring it to market, or
Yeah.
to
I mean,
manufacture it, right? And what is
when,
the cost per point? What is the
yeah,
cost per point, right?
and I always tell people, it's like, when you pick up a package, first of all, why did you pick it up? Usually it's the colors or the big words on it. And what do you read? All right, they don't read the life story of the inventor. They don't really care where the inventor is from, what they did, how they got there. Sometimes they may want to hear the story because it's entertaining, but when they're buying the product,
Yeah.
they want to know what does it do, what problem did it solve, and how much am I going to have to spend on it? And that's the brass tacks of it.
And now I'm going to go back to 9 out of 10, because my eyes are getting a little better now after I'm speaking with you. But 9 out of 10, if we can get them in an early stage, we might not be able to get all the marketing dollars, and say they might not have all the marketing dollars in one place, but we can, if we get them early enough, then we can map out a plan for the marketing dollars to at least get them something started in marketing,
Well,
or
and things have changed. Things have changed a
a
lot when you
lot.
can get
Yeah.
out on social media
Yeah.
now. Whereas before, it's like, holy cow, if you couldn't pay for a TV commercial in your community, you were toast. And if you couldn't get the eyes
Well,
of
yeah.
some big store, you were toast again. So it's really a matter of what
All
we
right.
can do to help maximize the dollars
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
And I have believed
Well,
for 15 going on 20 years now
yeah.
that the best use of your marketing dollars is getting your feet on the ground at a trade show.
That's right. Started from there. That's right. Because they're going to tell you quick, right?
Oh
You're going to
yeah.
know quick. Well, not to pack your bag and go home. You got nothing, or you have something, you
Well,
know.
I'll get inventors to learn
Well,
more.
we're going to have to step back, Rita. We got to take a short break, man. We
Darn
got
it,
to
I
take.
keep wanting to keep talking here.
I know. This is Event America right here on the King's Broadcasting Network. We're going to come right back with our first guest, our first topic. Stay tuned, y'all. Y'all come back now. You hear?